Hi everyone, welcome to the Financial Goondu channel. In my first introductory video, I shared with you my top 3 Goondu moves. 1. I mostly all in on Tesla for my growth stocks portfolio. And 2. I invest in Singapore REITs instead of a Singapore condo. Today I'll be sharing the last Goondu move on why I transfer my CPF proceeds from OA to SA. So about 2 years ago, we sold our 4-room HDB BTO to move to a 30-year-old resale HDB EA. We bought our BTO at 340,000 and sold it for 590,000. Back then, we have been diligently paying down our HDB loan with our CPF, and so we were only left with $100,000 debt. After buying our EA at $690,000 with a 25% down payment and clearing our $100,000 debt, we suddenly have a proceeds of about $200,000 in our CPF OA. Wow, yeah, how come I can change to a bigger house and still have so much CPF OA all of a sudden? This is because we got ourselves a new $550,000 debt for the EA. Remember, I only used to have $100,000 debt? That's exactly how property agents appeal to HDB upgraders. Upgrading seems easily achievable for so many because they trivialize this new debt that they are taking on. If anything, just label it as good debt and feel smart about it. Now, my 146 square meter EA cost $690,000. Imagine a 2.5 million condo. Ooh. With such a huge amount, this upgrading debt tremendously weigh down the expenses part of the financial freedom formula, to a point where as long as you have it, you can forget about financial freedom. Anyway, back to the topic. So what do we do with the $200,000 in our CPF OA? Lucky for us, we have good reasons to stay in our new house for many years, like 20 to 30 years. So we made the decision to transfer 80% of it to the SA, which is about 160,000. Hey, but what if you want to change house? What if you want to upgrade there? Now, do you want financial freedom or not? Or do you want to keep your options open? In life, you need to make trade-off that serves your main goal. Okay, then why do the irreversible move from CPF OA to SA? Well, as per the title of this video, it is because of the CPF Life. What? CPF Life? That thing only happen when you're 65 years old leh. Even for a 41-year-old like you, that's 25 years later lah. Yes, that's a lot of time. And time is exactly what you need for the magic of compounding to work. Moving from OA to SA is like doubling down on that magical power. Now, many middle-class Singaporeans, especially the employed ones, overlook how great a financial position they are in. Aside from having direct and instant access to the global stock market and having no capital gain tax and no dividend tax, we are also privileged with 2 risk-free wealth accumulation tools. The first is the HDB BTO and the second is the CPF Life. Not many can recognize them as wealth accumulation tools, especially the second one, which is the CPF Life. CPF, this how the government spend your money lah. All your money trapped inside so cannot use. Yes, you cannot use for now because it is an annuity product, and a really good one because of these 3 reasons. The first is because this product is backed by the Singapore government and pooled by the citizens. This is not some financial product from some financial institution. We are talking about the combined effort of the entire nation. Being government, CPF Life is not profit-driven. Rather, its objective is really for the silver generation to not financially burden the working generation. Second, this product allows you to build over time, using money you cannot use anyway. That money is your employer or employee CPF contributions. In other words, this is an annuity product that you can buy with literally no cash down. Remember, to build any form of passive income, you need time and or money capital. For CPF Life, you build it through time and money capital investment, but the money part can actually be made up of your CPF. Hence, your real money can be spent in higher performing investment. Third, this product pays you a fixed decent amount every month for as long as you live. It is because of the points I have described before, can we have such an annuity product that pays you a decent amount for life. As of today, the CPF Life has the basic plan, standard plan, and escalating plan. The standard plan gives a fixed monthly payout for life, while the escalating plan gives payout that increase 2% per annum to combat inflation. Personally, I prefer standard plan because you will receive a higher payout than the escalating plan for the first 10 years. By then, I'll be 75 years old, which I'm okay to reduce my spending by 2% per annum to keep up with inflation. Now, based on the monthly payout estimator in CPF Life website, assuming you are 55-year-old today and you have reached the CPF FRS, or not you call it the full retirement sum, of 213,000, when you are 65 years old, you will receive a fixed monthly standard plan payout of 1,600 to 1,700 for the rest of your life. Discount that payout with a 2% inflation rate of 10 years, that payout in today's value will be 1,300 to 1,400, which should be decent enough to cover one person's monthly expenses. Now, the CPF FRS grows at about 3.5% per year, and the CPF SA has a compounding interest of 4%. This means that if you have $213,000 in your CPF today, by the time you turn 65 years old, you will have the CPF Life payout of 1,300 per month in today's value, without any new SA contributions. This is why we did the irreversible move to reach CPF FRS as soon as possible. It is to build the CPF Life, which is a lifelong government-backed passive income generator that only starts when you are 65 years old. And because it is lifelong and backed by the government, you can now plan better by focusing on the years before 65 years old. In other words, you can now plan better on when, or rather how much you need to retire earlier. Say, retire by 40 years old? A simple plan would be the Biscuit Tin approach. Let's say today you're comfortable with $1,300 per month, have achieved $213,000 in CPF SA, and want to retire by 40-year-old. Assuming a 2% inflation rate, how much do you need to save in your Biscuit Tin so that you can draw down $1,300 per month in today's value for the rest of your life? Using formula, you need to save approximately $500,000 in your Biscuit Tin by the age of 40 years old. The tin will last you for 25 years of drawdown before your CPF Life takes over the job. Of course, the Biscuit Tin and CPF Life approach is not the most savvy plan, but it shows one clear solution on how one can retire at the early age of 40 years old. For us, which is a family of 4, our solution, as you may have guessed, is to invest in those 3 asset class to retire latest by 50. These assets are Tesla, REITs, and CPF Life. Now, if you want to know more on how I plan to use them together, do come find me in the coming videos. Bye bye!